Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama So Prabhuji, we need to basically, you can give some direction. want me to sit, Prabhu?
Yes. So how about the
There's no word yet, not for now. Not now. If he comes, then so I can sit here maybe in the chair.
Yeah, of course.
Bring one. Can I bring this chair, Prabhu?
Yeah.
And we may need to. You may need to give some help so they fill inside.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare. Don't. Okay, leave it. We'll do it without it. You go ahead. You can go ahead and address everyone, Prabhu. We don't have a mic. You just say.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming for Kirtan, and I'm really grateful for devotees. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. और अब हम प्रभु थोड़ा हमको गीता के लेसन्स देंगे और उसमें कैसे हमारा लाइफस्टाइल होना चाहिए, हमारा गुस्सा कैसे कंट्रोल होना चाहिए और हमको स्पिरिचुअली कैसे कनेक्टेड रहना चाहिए यूथ को, स्पेशली यूथ को, और उस बारे में थोड़ा हमको प्रभु जी कुछ समझाए.
So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you Niraj and everybody for coming all the way from Colombia, Rapugna Prabhu, and all the other devotees who have come from all over the Metroplex. So we'll start with a song. It's called Jai Radha Madhava. Is anybody familiar with that one? A little bit? Okay. So you can pull up your phone if anyone has it, or we can use this one. Can you put something here? Or not right now? Not so quickly.
Yeah, it's already like connected, but on YouTube I think okay.
No, it's okay. We'll wait then. We can wait because we just want the text.
Oh, right.
Can you cast it easily?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll begin, and then you pick up the lyrics, and then it'll be a call and response. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Radha Yashoda Nandana Bragadandarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the Simo devotees. So this is a very wonderful song, and it's written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it speaks about Radha and Krishna and the different pastimes of Krishna. So you all know Krishna, but we want to know Krishna better, right? You know, just like somebody that we love, you know, we care about them. We always want to know him better. We want to get closer to that person. So this is actually the essence of bhakti, is to approach Krishna with love and devotion. So, Prabhu, Sandeep Prabhu? Yeah, okay. It's very sensitive. So, let's see how it works, okay? So you do a soft Hare Krishna while I fix this, okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Face that way. Turn that one a little bit. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, very small, very small. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, great. So, Sandeep Prabhu asked me to speak about a few topics, and we don't have too much time, so I'll just kind of address them briefly.
You have time for today.
What was that?
You have time.
We have time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, very good.
So, the questions that we wanted to bring up were that about anger, how to control anger, and how to connect the youth to spirituality. And many people here have children, or you know, or we are children, or we know some children, right? So actually, children are the future of the world, future of this society, and you know, young people have a huge opportunity to make an impact and make a difference. And so we know that. People told us that when we were younger, and we think about our kids like that. We want them to do better than us. And actually that's normal for human society. And our parents and our grandparents, they try to do the best they can for us, but they, you know, they're also struggling with life, right? And if we're parents, we're also struggling ourselves.
I think now it's time, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. Just 1 minute.
Few minutes. Few minutes. In a few minutes, yes. So, our parents want to do as best they can for us. And if our parents are devotees and they understand the science of bhakti, or if we become devotees and we have children, or we connect others, other people we know, other youth we know with Krishna consciousness, we can do the highest good. That's a big claim, right? And people are saying, get into ecology, or get into engineering, or get into, economics. Then you'll be okay. You'll be safe in the modern world. Or get into AI, okay? Right? So we're trying to give some advice to the young people that we meet or that we know. And the best thing we can do is connect them with bhakti. So I'll speak about that. And it's connected with controlling anger and all the other emotions that we feel in the modern world. So do you think you could take this one? Maybe put it over this side over here. No, it's free. Okay, so before I begin, I offer my humble pranams to all the assembled devotees here, and please give your blessings for this discussion. And I also offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and preeminent Shiksha Guru for next 10,000 years for ISKCON. So, Srila Prabhupada has given in his books so many different tools for the modern world, and we simply have to avail ourselves of those. The first process of Bhakti Yoga is called Shravanam, hearing. So hearing is the most foundational principle of our devotion. If we hear about Krishna or if we hear about Bhakti, we can take it, we can live it, and we can also share it. So Prabhupada's books are the foundation for our hearing, and he has many lectures too. So myself, as well as many people here, we studied from Prabhupada. So our teacher, Srila Prabhupada, is very kind to make sure we understand nicely and we have some practical tools. So in the modern world, we deal with anger, we deal with disappointment, we deal with excessive attachment to results, And actually the modern world is kind of pushing us in that way to be result-oriented. And there's more competition in the market. There's more competition in our, in our schooling. There's more competition for being in the top ranks. There's more competition in, in trading, in business, everything. So Kali Yuga is actually characterized by competition, actually, and that competition is envious in nature. Envy means that somebody else has something, and I want to take it from them. That's envy, and Kali Yuga is kind of it's getting worse in that way. That somebody has something, that means I can't have it. That's called the material world. But if you have bhakti, right, then you can give it to everybody and you have more. And if you have bhakti, nobody can take it from you. So it's actually the best investment. So we have some business people here. If you invest in your own bhakti, then you'll never be a loser. You can never have, you never be in the red. You'll always be in the green. And the youth of today, right, we're, not so long ago I was younger, right, and I was understanding that I have to get serious about life because it's going to get difficult and there's a limited amount of resources and I'm supposed to get mine, And so then, right, we become attached, we become determined to make a stand in the world, and to put my name at the top of the list. And it's just normal, because if we don't, then we're worried that maybe, we'll be forgotten. We'll just, for lack of a better word, we'll be a loser. And it's like, what kind of a world is this, I'm a loser, if I don't, and our youth today they're not understanding that there's something more to life, and neither are the parents. And that's actually our duty as adults, to actually give this knowledge to the next generation. And so the first step is to understand the eternality of the soul. So this is the first thing that Krishna tells Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that we're actually an eternal part and parcel of himself, of God. And in that way, we have an eternal history, forward and back. We never didn't exist. We were never not alive, and we're never going to die either. And the soul is called Purano, and it's the oldest. And if we think about this, then we can understand, okay, well, I had a different life before this one, and I'm going to have a different life after this one. So the temporary things that happen in this life are not the all in all, right? And so this one piece of information can completely change everyone's lives. That you yourself, you are Jivatma, you are an eternal part and parcel of God. Krishna says, Mamai Vangsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Mamai Vangsho, right? Mamai Vangsho. That you are my little parts, my little angshas. So we have a good father. We have a good father, and we can rest assured that if we try to obey him as best we can, then everything will be all right. So this is actually the reason to be religious or dharmic, or to ultimately follow parodharma, which is actually bhakti. If you take all the temporary obligations that we have in this world due to my karma, right? I was born into a male body in the West, into a certain family, certain religion, certain economic status, and I have my destiny in terms of my karma, right? I'll have a dharma. I have responsibilities according to those things. Yes. But if I'm eternal, and I had a different body last time, and I'm going to have a different body next time, then there is a different dharma, which is actually Sanatana Dharma. So you all know that better than me, right? And the idea is that, what is that Sanatana Dharma? By connecting with that Sanatana Dharma and living that Sanatana Dharma, then we can check all the forces of anger, lust, envy, madness, illusion, all these lower tendencies which are actually enemies of the soul. We can actually check these. And the reason why is because we can actually change the major problem. The major problem is attachment, right? We're attached to some status, some comforts for this body and mind, some prestige for my body, for my name, right? And that's only normal, especially if we think we are the body. If we are the body, then working hard for the body's name and fame and resources is logical. But we just understood from the Bhagavad Gita, it clearly states, you are not the body. You're inside the body now, and you'll go to a new one later, right? So then there's this thing, and this is actually the art of work, is that we work in this world according to the current circumstances. We don't stop being, a student. We don't stop being a father. We don't stop being an American. We don't stop being an Indian, right? But we actually connect with yajna. And yajna is an amazing process by which we actually transfer our attachment from temporary satisfaction of this body and mind to the satisfaction of Krishna and the devotees. So there's an amazing verse in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it states that we should transfer our attachment and we should take shelter of Krishna. Transfer our attachment to Krishna and take shelter of Krishna, and this is called yoga. So the idea is that in the modern day, everybody is attached to getting their quota, being kind of carving out a little spot in the world for themselves. And that's just normal, right? But if we do it for Krishna, if we do it as yajna, and this is stated in the 3rd chapter in many places, and there's many simple techniques, right, that can be used. And I think that Niraj Prabhu will mention some other things for everybody here. But specifically, the best way to take shelter of Krishna in this day and age is to perform the Yuga Dharma. So the Yuga Dharma is different for each age. And the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga is Harinam Sankirtan or Hari Kirtan. So this Hari Kirtan means we glorify Krishna, means we speak about bhakti, we speak about His glories, His qualities, His name, and especially we come together and we chant Hare Krishna. Now, you can chant any name of God, any name of Vishnu, Hari, right? It's specifically mentioned, right? And in other traditions, they know, we can ask here, we are broad-minded people. We say, what about the Christians? What's their hope? They don't have any Harinam. They don't know what is Harinam. Well, actually they have Harinam. They have Christ, right? They have Yahweh. They have Jehovah. So we can ask them, and we do. And we say, okay, who is Jehovah? Who is Yahweh? Who is Christ? Say He's the King of Kings. That's who we're talking about. That's who we're talking about. So we have different amounts of information about that person. And that's what makes the Vedas so amazing. Because you have full information. And you can have full attachment for somebody you have full information about. Right? If I never met you, I can hardly have attachment for you. If once I know you, and I get to see you, and I get to talk to you, and we have some exchanges, right? I can maybe even meet your mom, I meet your father, right? I know where you stay, right? You invite me to your home. Then we have some relationship and we can become attached, we can become friends, right? And this same thing we can do for Krishna because the Vedas, Veda Vyas has given so much about Krishna, about Hari. And you have the Srimad Bhagavatam. And from the very beginning, you're hearing so many amazing leelas of Hari, of Vishnu. And ultimately, we hear about Krishna's appearance in the 10th canto, and we can learn everything about him. But by that time, we also learned about Narada, Dhruva, we learned about Daksha and Shiva, we learned about so many amazing pastimes where Gajendra Moksha and so many amazing things where we're purifying the heart. We're actually getting ourselves ready to understand, the science of bhakti and how to actually devote ourselves. And so it's a process. Bhakti is a process. Yoga is a process. And as soon as we take to this process, then it starts working immediately. And sometimes we don't know if it's working or not because we still get angry. We say, well, I'm doing my... Somebody criticized one day recently. And they said, they felt disrespected. They said, you don't even give common courtesy. You're doing all this Hare Krishna. What is the point of it? It's useless. Give it up. Right? Strong. Very strong. Now, this is a doubt we may have also. You say, and we may also have a doubt myself. I'm chanting so much, I'm doing so much Hare Krishna, I'm doing my puja, I'm wearing my tilak, and I'm doing all these things. And I'm still, having so much trouble, and I'm having so much anger, I'm having issues with my family, my friends, my boss, so many things. Does it even work? Is it even doing anything? right? So we have these doubts, and people have these doubts, which is normal, right? So actually, Krishna is addressed by Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhusudana. So he's actually the killer of the demon Madhu. He's the killer of so many demons. And demons are always compared to doubts. So who can kill the demons? That's Krishna only. So when we hear Shravanam, when we continue to hear, then we get our doubts relieved. That if I continue this process of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is telling me it's going to work. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. You can cross over all your attachment to the material world. Right? You can cross over all anger and all fear. Right? And many, many people in the past, they did this. Janaka Maharaj, Bhishma, Arjuna, so many Mahajans, Shiva, Narada, Swayambhu, Brahma, Kapila, Yamaraj, like this. So many amazing devotees, Shukadev Goswami, they did it just by a bhakti, right? So we can rest assured. So when we hear, then we get our doubts relieved. Now, as far as anger comes up because of lust. Krishna says, why do I do something that I know I'm not supposed to do and I don't want to do it, but why do I do it anyway? He says, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha, Mahapatma, Mahashano Mahapatma, Vidyanam Ihavairanam. In this world, the greatest enemy is lust. And from that lust comes a wrath. Means an anger. That if I didn't get what I want, what I became so attached to, right.
So this is the process. Contemplation on sense objects leads to increase the karma.
Right. So we meditate on something temporary and material, and we get lust, right? Or we get attached. Then from that attachment comes the lust. That lust is burning like fire. And if you put some ghee or some oil on that fire, it's not going to go out. It's going to get hotter. And this is actually what was discussed by Daksha and Narada. So Daksha was saying, hey, Narada Muni, he got all the sons of Daksha and he made them all brahmacharis. And he said, hey man, I wanted them to make all the universe filled with people. They're supposed to be prajapatis. And you made them all brahmachari, and now what are we going to do? And Daksha was saying, you let them have their fun now, first, and then they will know later and they can take bhakti later and all that. He said, no, by engaging in kama, like by satisfying our material desires now, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away, it just gets worse. And we have experience. And the youth now are getting big experience too. And the phones and everything, and all the TV and everything, it's making it very difficult. And it's very subtle also, right? Means that it's just been normalized to scroll, to see, and I see so many things that I didn't need to see. It doesn't even help my life. I have to do my paper for school. I gotta chant if we're a devotee, I gotta chant some rounds. I got to clean my room, maybe. I got to start, doing some other activities. And we start scrolling, and now we're in a whole nother universe. And we do it too as adults. And we have so many responsibilities. It's not a joke. Life is not a joke. Life is not easy in the material world. There's bills, there's taxes, there's legal things going on. There's keeping a home going, keeping everything clean, cooking, all these things, and then you add bhakti on top, right? So this is how we think about things. We think about adding bhakti on top, but actually life is bhakti. Life is meant to be bhakti. So that will be discussed, I think, later. And for now, we can understand. If I decide, right? If I decide, instead of trying to satisfy my desires, I try to satisfy Krishna's desires. Instead of trying to satisfy my desires, I try to satisfy the devotee's desires, sadhu. Right? And if I please the guru, if I please the sadhu, right, then actually my lust will be taken care of nicely. We still have to eat. We still have to, generally we have to have some income, right? We have to have some varna, some occupation by which we maintain ourselves and whoever is dependent upon us, right? And normally I'm doing it for myself and I'm attached to making sure it gets done. And when there's a bump in the road, there's a visa application that got canceled, or there's a job application that got canceled, or my daddy didn't get me this, or my mommy didn't do that for me. She didn't make me roti. She made me pakora instead or something, or she gave me khichdi from yesterday or something, then we can get mad, But what do we want? We want to make Krishna happy. So this is the way to deal with anger, is that we actually have to transfer our lust into satisfying Krishna's desires. And how do we know what Krishna wants? We know what Krishna wants through the Guru. And this is actually the science of Bhakti Yoga, is that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that you should learn the science of Bhakti from my devotee. Jnaninas tattva darshana. Somebody who's seen the truth, he can teach you the truth. And we should approach pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Right? Upadekshanti te jnanam. You can get initiated into jnana. You can get initiated into a knowledge which is actually beyond this world. We have skills, we have technical skills. Somebody's really good in management, right? Somebody's really good in finance. Somebody's really good on the computer. Somebody's really good with the car. Somebody's really good to keep the home clean. Somebody's really good in the kitchen. Somebody's really good on the music. Whatever it may be, these are technical skills. But there's actually a jnana which is actually above that, There's this divya jnana, transcendental knowledge. And who can give you that? The Guru. The Guru gives you that. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. He's seen the truth, he'll give you the initiation into the truth. So this is why in ISKCON specifically, we spend a lot of focus on this point, because I lost my remembrance of Krishna. And it's very obvious for people in the Western world. I don't remember who's Krishna. I don't know Krishna. Nobody told me about Krishna until a long time ago, right? Until a long time after I was born, right? And all of you were so fortunate because Krishna was there maybe in your room when you were born. Krishna was there, somebody who was chanting Hare Krishna or something, Jai Shri Krishna, or what they were saying when the first time you were born, right? This isn't normal, because actually the baby himself, he doesn't remember. But the parents remember, and if they're actually devotees or they know something about the Vedas and everything, then they give that knowledge. So this is the idea, that we are in darkness. Om jnana timirandasya. Right? We're in this darkness of ignorance. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Right? I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So this is why we learn, and this is why I suggest everybody, you can learn from the devotees such as Niraj and Rachna Mataji, Rupugna Prabhu and Sarvamangala Mataji. They're, Shalavati Mataji and Rajesh, they have been practicing many years, and all of you also have been practicing. I know many of you already have your practices of bhakti. You may offer prasadam to Krishna at your home. You may worship Tulsi at your home. You may do Harinam or different prayers, mantras that you've been given. And so, but one thing is that we want to go to pure bhakti, and it takes a lot, So if you associate with this movement, ISKCON movement, that's what it's all about. It's all about pure bhakti, getting to the purest point of consciousness. So please do associate with this movement as much as you can. You can come to our temple anytime. You can reach out, call us, text us. We can stay in touch. You can find us online. And you can also find different devotees from your hometown, ISKCON devotees, and you can learn in your own language and connect with different devotees that you resonate with, right? But thank you very much for being on this journey together. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity, Sandeep Prabhu. And we have some wonderful youth. Prabhu's here, Niraj's son and Rachna's son, and daughter are here, and also Rajesh's daughter is here, and they're also been taking up bhakti for a long time, and they can help also connect some of the other people, you know. And that's the idea, is that we do want a next generation of leaders, right? And some people who are taking, some youth who are going to take the lead and teach the others how to perform bhakti yoga. And it's an amazing opportunity, and there's a lot of mercy. This movement is called the Namhata, the marketplace of the holy name. There's a lot of different vendors and brokers in the Namhata, and everybody is getting a little percentage, you know. Like I have, you know, Prabhupada is there. He's a big vendor. He's got a lot of mercy, right?
Head of the Namhata.
And you know, and then so many of his associates are there, and they're also sharing Harinam with people, and people are buying. And what is the price? Shraddha. Shraddhavan Janahe. We buy the holy name Harinam in the Namhata with Shraddha, with the faith. And how do you get faith? You have to do some sadhu sangha. You connect with those who have some faith. So thank you everybody for being here, and let us all aspire. We can also become vendors in this Namhata and share this holy name with the people we meet. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shrimati Tulsi Devi ki jai. Okay.
Thank you very much. And I would request Dr. Arora Prabhuji to please guide us and please. We are all as parents or we live in a joint family. We have kids and families. So I would request Prabhuji to just give us some guidance on how to balance life, work-life balance, and also stay connected with Lord Krishna. Please, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep Prabhu. So, let's start with one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, Magadhari Prabhu mentioned so many nice points, like I am now out of points, truly speaking. Now, and everything was like covered. But Sandeep Prabhu has given me something to say. And I thought like, okay, this will be nice for me, because this Krishna consciousness movement is not like a passive movement. It's a very, very active movement. So just like we have to work in our day-to-day lives, same for the Krishna consciousness, we have to work. A lot of work. There is no scarcity of the work. No, not a single scarcity. Even one day is not without work, and also every day is a festival. Every day. So me, Rachna, Sirish, Shrishti, we got connected to Bhakti in 2022 properly. Before that we were just like going into different Namhata shops. Like one place to another place. And like the journey begins with a devotee or with the mercy of the Guru. And for us, that mercy was just a few lines of Bhagavad Gita written by Srila Prabhupada. And as soon as that book was in my hand, my first reaction was, this is what I was looking for. And when that thing happened, the world changed. The ignition, like we have a car, we have a scooter, whatever we have. But without the ignition, the things will not work. And exactly the bhakti process is like that. And we need to consider some kind of an ignition. So with that being said, I think this is working, right? And
Everybody wants to.
oh yes, yes,
That's
yes, I will
right,
take.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, sorry. So should I repeat? That will take a lot of time. I'm not.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, so we have some devotees who have joined us from Colombia through the Zoom. So that's why I will be keeping the laptop. Also, I have a small presentation. Ideally, I wanted to bring a projector, but somehow the projector did not work. It was not a mercy again. So I had to just do it without the projector. But I have the presentation and I want the kids to be involved in that. So I'm just going to open that presentation and share it on the Zoom also. Just a second. So the topic that Sandeep Prabhu mentioned was work-life balance, and this is very important. Like thinking about material life and spiritual life. How are we going to balance? Do we have that much of time? Just raise hands if you think that your life is balanced. Raise hands. Anybody? No? The life is not balanced, right? Do we think it will ever be balanced?
Never.
It will never be balanced, right? But then what do we need to do? Should we just stop the process of bhakti? Because my life is not balanced. Without a balanced life, what do I do? At least we can try to do something, right? And with the mercy of the Krishna, with the mercy of the devotees, with the mercy of the Lord, we might be able to start our ignition. That's the main purpose, right? So, let's see, let me present it. Yeah. No, it's shared. Yeah, this one. Is it not? Yeah. So, before I formally go into the presentation, I want to start with a small prayers. As I say, it is all the mercy, not my words cannot come out without the mercy of the Lord. So let's do small prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. So, now let me ask the kids, what is 2 plus 2? What is 4 plus 4? 4 plus 4? 8. Very nice. So now I am going to ask you one trick question, okay? You are in a race and you have to overcome the second person. What position you are in? Something? You are either on a third, you have to overcome the second, so somebody might say first, right? We accept both the answers.
What?
You accept both the answers. You are in the first position or third position. You have to overcome the second. Anyway, so this is just to focus you. Okay. If you overtake the last person, what position you are in? Can you be the last person? Can you overcome the last person? No, you have to be the last person. This question is like a fallacy. It's called a logical fallacy. Okay? Otherwise you will be out of the race. Okay. So now this is only for the kids. And I want to know how intelligent they are. I am sure everybody is intelligent. Mary's father has 5 daughters. Nana, Nini, Nono, Nene. What is the name of the 5th daughter?
Yes. No.
I'll repeat the question because there is no projector. Mary's father has 5 daughters. Nana, Nini, Nono, Nene. What is the name of the fifth daughter?
Mary.
Mary. Hey, Hari bol. You got it. Okay. Mary's father. So Mary is the fifth daughter. You got it? Okay, nice. A farmer has 17 sheep. A farmer, sheep. Farmer has 17 sheep. All but 9 died. How many were left?
9.
17 sheep, all but 9 died.
Just need to subtract 9. 9.
All but 9.
All but 9 died. So 9 is left.
9 left.
Right? Why are we doing this? Just to see how our life is focused, right? Okay, and we'll take one more question. Take 2 apples from 3. How many you have?
3 minus 2 apples.
Take 2 apples from 3. How many you have? How? Take 2 apples from 3. How many you have?
-1.
2 or 1? It's 2. Because you took 2 from 3. Then you have 2 apples, right? Okay, this was like a trick exercise, right? So now there is an all the kids, I want to stand up. Now kids, I mean, I should say warriors for Prabhupada's movement. They are all the warriors for Prabhupada's movement. So let's see, can all of, if somebody wants to stand up, that is awesome. We want to see how balanced you are. Can you stand up? It's little kids, at least little kids. Okay? And you are a big kid, you can. Yeah, if everybody can stand up, that's awesome too. That's nice. Everybody can stand up. Okay, let's. Whosoever, if elderly, we cannot stand up. That's Hare Krishna. So this is nice. So, oh yeah, come, kids. Come. So how many legs are you using to stand? 2 legs. Anybody has 3 legs? 4 legs? No, you have 2 legs, right? Okay, so you can stand easily on the 2 legs. Now I want you to try to stand on 1 leg with the eyes open. With the eyes open. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you stand with the eyes open? If you fall down, that means you are out. Okay, if you fall down, you are out. Okay, yeah, oh yeah. See, you are taking Guru's support. Your hand is your Guru. Okay, so looks like we can stand, right? Now this is trick.
Close your eyes.
I want you to close your eyes and stand on 1 foot. And try to stand on 1 foot with the eyes closed. Can you do it? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, if you fall down, then you can sit down. If you fall down, you sit down. Wonderful, wonderful. That, yeah, there are devotees who are balancing. Oh, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji is still there. Yes, Hari Bol for Prabhu. Prabhu, what's your name? Nitesh Prabhu. Hari Bol for him. So see, why was this difficult? What do we learn from this? Did we learn anything from this?
Focus.
Hari Bol Mataji. So Mataji mentioned, yes, this is a focus. So if we try to focus, we are able to balance the life even with the eyes closed. But if you take this practically from the point of view for our life, when our eyes are closed, that means we are not getting the real knowledge, which is the spiritual knowledge, right? The wisdom, what Srila Prabhupada has given us. That means our eyes are closed and then we are not able to balance ourselves in the life, in the day-to-day activities. For that, we need to keep our eyes open. That's why the first prayer that is sung is Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Right? So that's the first thing, that we need to keep our eyes open, and our eyes open can be done only when we have the spiritual knowledge with the help of our spiritual master. Right? So that was this point. Did you like it?
Yes.
But then somebody could say that why do we need spiritual knowledge? Come on. Do you think? Why do you need spiritual knowledge? Rachana is saying that why I'm saying so loudly. Because because if you ask anybody, then they say, I am happy in my life, don't interfere. People say, don't disturb, already disturbed. Right? Don't interfere, because there is so much interference going on. Right? So then why do we actually need this? The art of balance, the time management, why do we actually need this? Is there real need? Do you think our parents, kids, do you think there is a need for the balance in the life, or learn about time management, learn about spiritual knowledge? Is there any real need for it? Yes. Right? Now, if anybody from psychology background, or you might have heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow is a psychologist and he has given a pyramid. This pyramid, I could have projected it, but I'll tell you there are levels. The basic level is called the physiological needs. Like we all like to eat food, we all like to have some nice shelter, nice house. Everybody wants it, right? So that's the basic necessities of life. But what is beyond it? We don't just want the live in a house which is leaking, where the animals can come in. We need some safety also. So that's the number 2. We need some protection, right? But higher than that is we don't want to live alone. We want to live in the community, in the family. We want to live together, right? We want to have a status in the society, in the community. Right? So because humans are all social beings. We are all social beings. Right? So love, that's the next thing that comes. And belonging. And then you want some esteem, self-esteem. Right? So far, you see that physiological needs, safety, love and self-esteem. We all run for it. Is that right? Everybody wants to run for it, self-esteem. Anybody can say that I am doing this, I just don't want any credit. If you ask a random person, except the devotees, that is what you're going to have an answer, that put my name, I give a donation of $1,000, put my name, make sure that my name is on the tile. There is a story, there was sometime a devotee gave a donation of some few $1,000s, and he did not give, his grandfather gave, and his name was written on the fan. His name was written on the fan. And it happened that this devotee, he went to the temple and asked, Prabhuji, my grandfather gave some donation. Where is his name? I could not see anywhere. And he says that, okay, you want to see his name? Yeah, it's written on the fan. The fan is moving. I cannot see that. The Prabhuji said like, okay, can you turn off the fan so that I could see it? Said, sure, but it's very hot. I cannot turn off the fan. Right? So this Prabhuji, he wanted to make sure that he could see his grandfather's name. Right? And it happened like Prabhuji said, like, see, you have given the donation. Your grandfather gave the donation. It's your mercy. Right? But now the point to know is like, sometimes people like to crave for these things. Like, I have given it. Right? I have given some donation, my name should be on there. Right? But that's like an esteem for them. But we don't go to the actual part. What is the actual last need? We have 4 things that we discussed. The last need is the self-actualization. Right? Who we are, why we are here, and what is our purpose. Anybody knows Mark Twain? Mark Twain, right? He mentioned once that there are 2 important days in your life. First day is when you are born. Everybody knows the birthday, right? Second is not when you die,
When you realize why you are here.
but when you know why you are here. Hari Bol for Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Very good. So that's the point. So once we know these two things, that means we know who we are, and we get connected not just to ourselves but to the higher supreme. Right? So with this self-actualization has multiple aspects. So there is something that we all know. Right? You say that I could say I have done my MBBS degree, I have done my MD degree. Why do I need to know come in bhakti? I am happy with my patients, I am happy just treating, and that's it. Right? Sometimes it happens like the tap leaks in the hospital, tap leaks at home. But it's a minor error, minor thing. You could easily tackle it. If I am just a physician with that much of ego, and I could not even fix that tap, what is the use of my whole intelligence? Right? Sandeep Prabhu has designed whole of his kitchen, and he is in the IT background. Imagine how much. Hari Bol. Prabhuji, what was your background? Finance background. So think about it, like Prabhuji is in the finance background and he was able to manage the kitchen. So it is not just there is some knowledge that we know, but there is some knowledge that we don't know. But there is third type of knowledge that we don't know that we don't know. That is the third knowledge, third type of knowledge. First is we know, right? We know that that's what I know. Like you are in ninth grade, or you are in MBBS, or you are an IT professional. You know your field. But second is you know what you don't know. Like if you are in IT, you don't know medicine. If you are in medicine, you don't know IT, right? Third thing is you don't know what you don't know. And that's where the process of this self-actualization comes, when we get connected to the higher supreme. And one can easily ask, why is our life so imbalanced? Or why do we think like we are not able to properly manage these things? Because this is in the material world. There are two worlds we have to deal. One is the material world and another is the spiritual world. When we are not in the spiritual world, we are connected with the material world. Material world is also called, in simple terms, Maya. Simple term, Maya. Now, it is said that if you are not Krishna conscious, you are unconscious. Why? Because the energy of the Lord, energy of the Supreme covers you. You get blinded. There are so many pastimes from the scriptures about Narad Muni, how he got bewildered. And he was like, he did not even realize that he was under the influence of the Maya. There are a lot of tales about it. And Lord Krishna has to tell him specifically that you are under the influence of the Maya. That's why you did not know about all these things. But our lives are also like that. We did not know that we are under the influence of the material energy. The material energy of the Lord comes in mainly three modes. Anybody knows which are the three modes of nature? Three modes of material nature: goodness, passion and ignorance. Sattva gun, Rajogun and Tamogun. Right? Because of all these three modes of the nature, we are constantly under some kind of influence. Now, it is an art. It's an art that somebody wants to learn. It's an art of balancing the modes. Having the right association. What is the ABCD of ISKCON? ABCD of ISKCON. A for association. A for association. So that means having the right connection with the right people. Right? B for book reading. Book reading. Right? Whatever Srila Prabhupada has given, whatever the ISKCON books are there, whatever the spiritual masters have written, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, these are all important books. So B is for books. C is for chanting. Chanting the names of the Lord. Because the potency of the Lord is in the name of the Lord. That's why Kela Prabhu, when he was doing the Kirtan, it was so immersive Kirtan. So immersive, right? He did not need a mic, just like me. Right? But he was like top of the roof. Even some of the neighbors must be listening easily. They must be getting the mercy. Right? So C is chanting. Chanting is very powerful. What is D? D is there are different flavors of D. Diet. Diet is number one. Diet, that means eating prasadam. Eating prasadam, the sanctified food which is offered to the Lord Krishna. Also, D could be for deity worship. When we see the beautiful form of the Lord, Lord Gaur Nitai, Lord Krishna Radha, right? And we get the mercy from them. That's D. And this all comes under devotional service. And E. Anybody knows what is E? E. Engagement. Engagement in what? Engagement in the services of the Lord. A for association, B for books, reading the books, C for chanting, D for deity worship, devotional service, diet, and E is for engagement. Because, see, services are important. Srila Prabhupada, even at the age of 70, he left Vrindavan and came to United States with the only purpose to spread the names. Because his spiritual master told him that go and preach the West. So, what was, did he had like a, say, imagine yourself to be 70 years and thinking that you have to leave your place, not just your place but your country, and you have to go 7,000 miles away to an unknown land without any money. Can you imagine? Right? This is like the power of Srila Prabhupada. That was just to fulfill the duty of or desire of a spiritual master. He left for us, so that people like me who are so we are so ignorant could get some connection. So that's very important, right? Now we come to this, see, material energy, we have to try to balance. There is no end to it. The mercy is very important. Now you say that, okay, mercy, you are saying mercy, but show me something practical. Right? In that way, I'll give you some 5 tips. 5 tips that we are going to talk. 5 tips. I want you to try to memorize these 5 tips. Can you memorize? Kids also, and parents also, and grandparents also. Yes. Right? So first tip is go inside before you go outside. What does this mean? Shrishti, can you repeat?
Go inside before you go outside.
What does this mean?
Stay in, but
Stay in your home. Don't go outside. Don't go to school. Anybody? See? Think before, right? So now here, in the first habit that could help us to balance the life is to first have an introspection of our own self before we connect to the outer world. In Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON movement, that introspection starts at, you know what time? 4:30 in the morning, with Prabhuji, with Mridanga, with all the Kirtan, right? Every day. Every day. So introspection is such an important thing to have in life. Without the introspection, it is very, very difficult to connect to the real world. And then, for introspection, you need to have some little bit of your me time. You say me time, everybody, if you ask a teenager, shut the door, I don't want any disturbance, I want me time, right? That me time, what they will do? Instagram, Facebook. But we do not want that type of me time. We want the me time in which what do? We try to analyze ourselves. How was my day? What good I have done today? What I could plan for it. So the planning is very important during this time. Right? So before you go outside, think inside. That inside means the planning is also important. Right? So that's number 1. So there is some statistics, I have not displayed it, but think about, as your child, you are spending so much time with your friends and family. When you grow a little bit older, then some of your friends, you parted with them, right? They are busy with their own lives. Then as we grow older, even our kids also, they will have their own life. Hmm? You grow further older, who will be with you? Own self. So our time with the people around us will decrease, whether they are our family, whether they are our friends, whether they are close relatives, anybody. But the time with our own self will increase. That's why the introspection is very important, and this is the first thing that could help in somebody's balancing the life. Can you repeat? What did we say? What was the first point?
Going, go in before you go.
Go inside before you go out. Wonderful. Hari bol for you, Shrishti. Good job. Now your turn. So basically, there is a simple rule. Basically, teachers tell us that spend 1 hour of your day in the introspection. In that, 15 minutes you can do some exercise, right? This is like a simple way. There are different ways we can do it, but 15 minutes exercise, 15 minutes meditation, 15 minutes of book reading, and 15 minutes of writing something. That means reflecting what you're going to do, how was your day, right? So that's a simple way. Now, due to lack of time, I'm not going in very much details, but this is an important point. Chanting the Maha Mantra is the best way to do the introspection, and spending some time, like at least doing 1 round. Everybody do here some rounds, few rounds. Anybody doing 4 rounds? 4 rounds daily, 8 rounds. So 16 rounds, I'm sure everybody will raise hands, right? Yeah, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. I know I'm just asking all the devotees who are so elevated, but pardon me, I'm just thinking about our children so that they can get the inspiration. Okay. Rule 2, habit 2. Important things over easy things. What's your name? What's your name? Subhadra. So rule number 2, can you remember and say important things over easy things?
Chanting.
Important things. Say important things over easy things. That's the rule number 2. Right? Habit 2 is, how old are you? 6. Hari bol. Nice. Good. Can you say, you are the mic. Hari bol. Can you say important things over easy things?
Important things and easy things.
Okay, yes. Hari bol. So, see, let's say you are in an exam. You know that the questions are in the order, or some kind of an order that you know of. Then you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all of a sudden you realize that, yeah, looks like question number 2 is easy. I'm going to do that first. That is just 1 mark. Question number 5 is easy. That's 1 mark. Question number 6 is easy. 1 mark. But question number 1, question number 3 that you are left, those have like 10 marks, and now you don't know what are you going to do. That's difficult, right? That means your preparation is not good. You are just going to score 1 marks, but you are leaving the 10 mark questions. That's how sometimes we do in our life. That we just think, okay, 5 minutes I have my phone with me, scrolling, easy. I tell somebody to let's do 5 minutes reading, that becomes difficult, right? So that means we have not developed the mindset of how to prioritize the things. So we need to prioritize. So first is planning, thinking about planning, introspection. Second is prioritize the things. If we are able to prioritize which things are important, which things are less important, and make a checklist throughout the day, these are things like I am definitely going to do, right? There are different levels, tier levels. Like somebody says that, okay, if you're doing 10 tasks, out of that, if you finish just 5 tasks, you can carry over to the next day, right? But make sure that you do the important tasks first. Otherwise, all the important tasks will be for the next day, and then you will say that I have no time, right? So, planning. Second is prioritizing, right? Got it? So, important things over easy things. So, third habit. This is little tricky also. Little tricky. Sirish, I want you to remember. And think about it. Time carries memory, location carries energy. This is an habit 3. Why this is an habit 3 or a rule 3? Time carries memory, location carries energy. Think about it. So, if somebody has done a task 1,000 times, that task becomes easy for them. They don't have to worry about it. All our devotees in a temple, do you know what time they wake up? 4 o'clock. Do they need an alarm clock all the day? No. 2 o'clock. Prabhuji wakes up at 2 o'clock. But sometimes the question is, you have your biological clock, you don't need the alarm because you have done it so much that your brain is already set. Right? Same way in our day-to-day life, if once we try to understand that our tasks has to go into the subconscious mind to the point that you don't have to think about it, it happens automatically, because time carries memory. That's important. Now, location carries energy. What does this mean? So see, if you chant, can you chant in a cinema hall, theater? You can chant, but will that be the best chanting? No. But if you chant in the temple hall, that will be considered the best chanting for you, because that location carries the energy. So that matters. If you we like to go to Vrindavan, who likes to go to Vrindavan? Haribol, right? Why? Because that's where the headquarter of Krishna is. That's where the whole energy is. You don't have to depend on Tesla's power, right? Krishna's energy is there. So that's why it says that location carries the energy. So we have to select our location in a proper way. If you think you're going to do your homework, make sure that you're not doing while you're watching TV. If you have to do some studies, make sure that you are doing in a proper association of some good friends or by yourself, not just like while playing and just finishing the homework, right? That's why location carries energy. Okay, now thinking about just important point, Lord Krishna in chapter 6 has given so many important points, in chapter 6, which is the Dhyan Yoga. He has told us Yuktahara Viharasya. You remember that verse? That is chapter 6, right? Lord Krishna says that yes, do your duty, do your all the activities, right? But also have a sound sleep and also have balanced diet. Lord Krishna does not say that starve yourself. Lord Krishna say have balanced proper food. Then only you can become a good yogi, right? But if you think in the common in our Kali Yuga or in our present world, that means that we need to have a balanced approach. These are the verses in chapter 6 about the balanced life, right? Even like if you see in the material world, you name any big businessman, any big like a successful physician, engineer, any IT professional, any kind of a person, they will have a very good schedule of themselves, and they will try to make sure that their sleep is also covered and their activities are also covered. So if in the material world it could happen, why not in the spiritual world, right? So as a devotees, we should always try to have a balanced approach for our time and diet also. And it got stuck. Okay. it just got stuck. Anyways, so one thing, the next habit was about something called pushing. What is that? Pushing. We all need some push. Without the push, sometimes we don't work, right? In order to light a candle, what do? You have to have a matchstick and then ignite it. Then you can light the candle. Same way for our work also, sometimes we need to have some kind of a pushing. Either it could be from our teachers, either from our friends or from our colleagues, right? And then only we start working. So pushing is important aspect of a balanced life, and it also helps in the time management. Sometimes, see, I like to go to gym. Do some exercise. I like to do running. Now, some of my teachers, they tell me, if I lift, let's say 50 pounds, they say, no, you can do 75 pounds. What are they doing? They are pushing us, right? That is important. Now, understanding that pushing happens with a proper guidance. That is the feedback, right? If I tell them, no, I'm not able to do, then they'll say, okay, instead of 75, do 65. So feedback, right? So pushing is an important aspect of balancing the life along with the feedback from the proper mentors, right? So, what is this? Okay. Do you know what is GPS? Anybody knows the full form of GPS here? If you ask the devotees, yeah, I know, they will know Guru Parampara system, right? If you ask an engineer, they'll say global positioning system. Now see, there is a connection between the both, right? The teachers connect us to whom? To the Supreme, right? What does the GPS do? Connect us on wherever you are, but it takes us with a proper destination. That's the function of the Guru. That's the function of the teacher, right? So the GPS of the teachers is such an important thing for us to know, right? So feedback is important, right? If you take a wrong turn, what does the GPS do? Your manual GPS do? Reroute, right? What does the teacher do if you do a mistake? Chastise you. Make sure that you do your homework correctly. Make sure that you follow the right path. That's the function of the teacher, right? So feedback is considered the breakfast of the champions. Feedback is considered breakfast of champions. So I am going to request feedback after this, because I need to become a champion. Haribol, right? Sorry. Okay, last thing. Now, this is very important thing. Who has Tesla cars here? Anybody has Tesla car? Anybody has some kind of an electric car? Okay, everybody has phone here? Somebody has laptops, right? You know what does the engineer says when we have to charge the batteries? Don't charge 100%, it will spoil the battery. Do you know that? Charge how much? 80%. Why? Even in the electric cars, if you charge up to 80%, efficiency is good. And from 80 to 100%, it takes long time, lot of energy. Right? So don't stress on achieving 100% perfection in all the tasks. Strive for 80%. So little less, but that will allow you to do other things in a proper way, right? So the rule of 80%. 80% rule is no need to be becoming Mr. or Mrs. Perfection. Okay? Car battery is a perfect example. Our laptops are a perfect example. Okay. So now, just with last few slides before to wrap up, teachers tell us to focus on 3 things. First, they say focus on your health. Focus on your health. Second, focus on your japa. Third, focus on the services. Focus on, first is health. That means you should make sure that you are having at least proper diet, sleep, you are in a good physical condition to do some services, right? Then you focus on your japa properly, and then the services come. This is the rule of success. Now this, whatever we discussed about so far, the balance of the life. So having balance of the life is not the goal of life. Is not the goal of the life. What is the goal of life? Self-actualization. That's the goal of life. Balance helps, it assists in achieving the goal. Simple example in the material life. If you ask a college student, start doing 16 rounds. This is the order of Srila Prabhupada. Will they do it? What they will say? I have to do my studies first. I cannot do that. Simple, right? That's the simple, arrogant answer by them. That's why the important thing to understand is having the balance in the life. So let them study. Slowly engage them in the services. See, the health first, then japa, and then the services. So the actual goal of life is actualization. Balance of the life help us to achieve that goal so that we don't have to worry. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that if a person wants to do their job, right, let them do the job, right, and they don't want to come to services, let them not come to services. But over a period of time they will realize that only doing the job does not help them to attain what they want in the life. So practically lot of centers oh Maharaj is here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Last slide for me. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Cover it up, please. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, First point was go in, walk. Second was prioritize the things. Third thing was pushing is important. And the last important thing was see everybody needs some praise at your party. Means after all this hard work that you do, that you're trying to balance yourself in life, don't just be so harsh on yourself that you don't get time to enjoy with your family, friends, and not able to come to Kirtan. Has to come to Kirtan. Without the grace of Sandeep Prabhu, we would not have been able to come here. So thank you, Sandeep Prabhu, for allowing us to come here and arranging such a nice party for all of us. These are five important things, or simple way to memorize, or time management. 4 P's also you can remember. First is planning, plan. Second is prioritize. Third is pushing the limits. And fourth is party time. So 4 P's of time management as well as the balance in the life. So hopefully this was a little bit useful to you, and I thank Maharaj and all the Western devotees. If I have any committed any mistakes, please forgive me. Thank you.
I spoke on, trying to speak on connecting with the youth movement and also anger management.
So that's what we do that youth. When they reach certain age, someone reaches a certain age, and you really happens. The body mind changes. Start thinking about things you didn't think about before. Things new. Because the nature of the body is changing. What is in your body? When elephant, we use something like food. You can't be like, hey, tons. Everything in the body will move. But ant, another but the body changes, body changes. So, you know it's like, I was young, for leaders of the singing groups, they were idols. We based our whole life on them. So they're like them. And the stars, sport time. These are the leaders. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whoever actually performed by a great man, found and followed his footsteps. And whatever silence he sets, exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So keep that in mind. They have their role model, they have their heroes. And not really to change that. All their friends talk about it. Internet everywhere. They've got picked out who they're going to follow. Sure. Well, what's that name? Simon. How do you do? Flowers, everyone's really helpful. Maybe engage there. What's it? Taylor. So your father. So we have to have some alternatives that are even more balanced, more powerful, more qualified than the others. And so, who are they? Who are our heroes? Who are the devotees who can? Well, they're looking also for musicians, fellow musicians. Lord Chaitanya time, there were some great Kirtan leaders. Even the old ones, Dr. Chaya, he was one of the group leaders. He took an elderly. Haridas Thakur Senior, a great leader. And Lord Chaitanya himself was a great dancer. And for powerful people, Arjuna, Bhima, Mahabharata, we're not missing out the heroes. They're great. And we have Sita, a woman with beautiful, chaste, intelligent, wealthy, to become a role model. Sati, Sita, Rani, Rukmini, and 16,107 other wives. All the names are given. The other names? All. And then your family. The other thing is role models who connect to family. Very attached. Nice good. It's good attached. Reunions and meetings, parties and family. I think that older people enjoy those more than the younger people. I'm not sure. Older people seem to really love this. The young people seem to go on with it. They start getting more. As they grow older, they become more attached. We have the family that we have special. Sometimes when the Chandramangsa, Suryamangsa, the line from some god or some god, even Krishna comes in different lines. The whole heroes even surpass the mixture of animal heroes they have. Spider-Man. What? So we have Hanuman. Hanuman. That's really like all people like it too. We just have to let the culture be known. Because as they become attached to the culture, they learn. The thing is, different. And not doesn't at all. You don't want to learn anything. But you can do more of this. They're just, we can say that people who are not learning in topics of science, I live life, science, to be pure, to be happy, how to be free from danger. If they want to become learned, then they have to go to the right teachers. If they want to learn great science, for example, astronomy, astrology, and pyramids, here the science, self-realization. Here. Ignore these people. You hear from the Vedas. You go back to the very beginning of the universe. You go back to the time when Lord Brahma took birth from the lotus flower, which sprung from the navel of Vishnu. Who wouldn't be what kind of topic for this? So we need to bring back the Vedas. We almost lost the Vedas. For the most part, we have lost the Vedas. We don't know what the Vedas. And that's a shame. But it can be turned around. That's the problem. As representative of Veda Vyasa, out of the Vedas, Prabhupada came and translated all these wonderful books, and then he gave commentary to explain them. A lot of people misunderstand them. So we have books now. And the books, and music, drama, that's teach us, Shana, and some dancing. I think we have very strongly in our unity of dancing. Lord Chaitanya. His dancing is so, you've seen some paintings of it? He's dancing so high, he's jumping. And they had to take care of, when Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda started dancing, they went wild. It wasn't just because they were taking some intoxication. They were in ecstasy of love of God. So the dancing and singing came naturally. Instruments were being played, the drums. Youth love drums. They can't live without drums. So we have our mridangas. And different names. What are some different names for the drums that? Khol, yeah. Khol is another type of
Tabla also.
tabla. And what's it called? Dundubi.
Dundubi.
Lord Lord Krishna's father's name was Anakadundubi, because when he took birth, those drums started playing. Anakadundubi. So many different types of drums. Vishnu Janaswami used to play. He played the regular one like this, but he had the dolak.
Yes, Dolak. Yes.
And so you have all these drums going. And they have some like, there's others.
Nagara, which is like a big drum.
Yeah, like kettle drums. And the demigods play drums. So you can imagine when the demigods are playing drums and really play. So, music, who are the favorite musicians? We know who the ones are now. But you might be surprised, in the Vedas, the most famous musicians are the gopis. Gopis of Vrindavan. They have created or generated or mastered millions of ragas and raginis and all the different there's planets there, and Saraswati, she's also expert. She's considered most expert. The singers like Narada and who are some of the other famous Gandharvas, Narada Muni. Yeah. So these singers, they learned from Saraswati, who's the goddess of learning and music. But she's learning from the gopis. They know how to play all the instruments, sing into all different ragas. All beautiful. There's nothing in the Vedas.
Some full of
But the thing is, our youth, they're not experienced. They haven't tasted this yet. So we should make arrangements to help them do that. Like we went recently to a retreat Kirtan festival called Sadhu Sangha. Some of you were there. And so they have devotees singing for several days. And I sing. So what happens is the audience joins with the singers, so that it becomes not just a show that you're watching, but you're participating. You become part of the kirtan, part of the bhajan. That's very good. You see, that's the thing that our youth, we've had some, it's been a dilemma for us, the first generation of the Bhaktivedanta family. Or not the first generation, I mean, you go all the way back. Krishna's, but anyway, for ISKCON, we're the older ones, and we had dilemma how to keep the youth with us. You know, they seem to be going for the Grateful Dead and what are some of the good named bands. They were going for those bands. And those bands, the leaders are not setting a very high example for becoming spiritually minded. We're getting out of this material world. We're getting free from the cycle of birth and death. You won't get it by doing things that they're doing. So they have to find some new kirtan, new musicians. The only thing I felt when I was coming to Christian consciousness, I felt a little sad I had to give up the Beatles. That was my biggest sorrow. I could tolerate everything out with that. That was difficult. But then I found out that the Beatles were already into Hare Krishna before me. So I was very happy. I didn't know that at the time. But they were. They were already chanting, going on boats, chanting in Greek islands for hours. That was good. So it's nice if the famous people of the material world are also leading in the spiritual world. That makes it easier for the youth. But if not, then we have to create our own heroes from the devotees. We used to go around and visit the musicians and visit them backstage when they were doing performances. I remember I went one time, I forget his name. He's the one, I can't remember, famous singer. And we would do that. We go around and we bring them prasadam backstage. They like that. And we hold festivals and invite them to come. And so these are good. Youth like this. They like to meet these people. And they like giving them Krishna consciousness. And then they can chant, even if they're not a famous Kirtan, they can become famous in their little room. I can become the most famous bhajan player in my room. Nice. And if you become more famous, that's nice. But devotees are not really so interested in fame because they're a little cautious about getting carried away with their bodily identification. So they have to be careful about getting famous, trying to become famous. So if you're not famous, you should be happy. Thank God, thank Krishna. I didn't become too famous. And I might get carried away with all the things that happens to these famous musicians. So anyway, that's my point about the youth, is they like music, let them get into kirtan as much as possible. Teach them the drum, let them learn the mridanga player. Prabhupada's father sent him to get mridanga lessons because he knew he was a great father. He knew how to raise his son beautifully. Whenever saintly persons, or even if they look like saintly persons, even if they were imitation saintly persons, he would bow to them, offer them all kinds of gifts, and beg them, please bless me that my son will be a great devotee of Radharani. What a father. And the mother, she was always doing different things for the protection of her son. Taking all kinds of things. It's described in the biology of that movie. I mean, the drama you've seen, Abhaicharan Day? Abhaicharan, then Abhaicharan? Let the children watch that. The more they watch it, the more they'll become attached to Prabhupada. And that the dress, the etiquette, the way they dealt, the friends, the way they met, it's all good. We need to replace the present day ways of doing things. Instead of drinking, just have kirtan. Kirtan makes you intoxicated, but not intoxicated with something mundane. You become intoxicated with love of Krishna. You lose your taste for Maya. The more we become attached to Krishna, the less we're attached to Maya. We just lose our taste for it. And you can become attached to Krishna very easily. Because Krishna doesn't just mean Krishna. It means Krishna, and Krishna's friends, and Krishna's family, and Krishna's likes, his dislikes, his dress, his talk, his wives, his animals. Krishna, sometimes they say, why you talk only about Krishna? So narrow-minded. Krishna's not narrow-minded, he's controlling everything. In fact, Krishna is everything. He's in everything, but then again, he's outside of it, just to make it more exciting. So this is some ideas about the youth. Kirtan, much as possible. And try to give them Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam and Garga Samhita, much as possible, Chaitanya. All these wonderful pastimes. They like these. I mean, I was a boy, I like army men. Little army soldiers. I don't think girls did it much. Girls don't do the army, they're dolls. Mhm. But we did the army men, shooting down, falling. We like these things. It's not that Krishna consciousness means you have to give up everything. You just purify it. Make it Krishnized. And they'll love it. But we have to really, really give a lot of energy to the kids because there's so much energy going into them now. Take them and put them in Maya. So we have to give the energy and give them the association that they need so they become attached to Krishna. Then their whole lives will be. Then if one becomes attached to Krishna, that's it. That's the ultimate. There's nothing further than that. There's nothing beyond in any field. There's nothing further in music or in education, science. We think we're doing good by supposedly flying around the moon and taking some pictures. We give ourselves a lot of credit for that. Okay? But then why not fly all around the cosmic manifestation and go to the Vaikuntha planets? The material universe is only 1/4 of the whole manifestation. And even that's a little hard to calculate because they're all unlimited. Any subject, we can go as far as we want with it. And Krishna consciousness will just continue to amaze us how deep it goes, how far it goes. If someone says love is a popular topic, always we like to talk about love. Go to the Vedas and talk about love. The Goswamis are writing books about how the love of Radha and Krishna. That's for a little bit more advanced stage, but we have to prepare ourselves. Lord Jagannath, we have to have Lord Jagannath pretty soon. I hope we do that for youth's sake, it's another thing. That's the best thing. One of the best things for youth is Rath Yatra. Because they love it. It's everything you want. Outside, it's amazing, it's loud, it's big. Delicious. Rath Yatra. It really will pay off. One time, Prabhupada came to London. And president of the GBC, what we call Governing Body Commission, for that area, he used to be in Los Angeles. I was also in Los Angeles with him, and then I was also with him in London. And the devotees from Los Angeles used to always be the top book distributors during Prabhupada's time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And London wasn't so strong in that. But this governing body commission, he was strong. And he had put a lot of energy into getting the book distribution increased in London. So he said, Prabhupada, London has beat Los Angeles in book distribution. And Prabhupada said, very good, but Los Angeles has beat you in Rath Yatra. Because London was the best for Rath Yatra movement at that time. And then Los Angeles came up in. Have you ever been to Rath Yatra in Los Angeles? If you get a chance to go, it's worth it. It's right on the beach, just like Puri. Right on the beach. The water's right there. And goes right down the road. Big parade. Okay, that's enough on the youth. All right. And then the other topic was how to avoid anger. Anger, what was it? The full. Who wrote that? How to avoid anger. What was the rest of it?
How to control the anger. Manage anger
Anger.
anger.
Okay. Well, yeah, anger is, I guess people know it's dangerous. Well,
how to manage anger and attachment through Krishna consciousness.
well, I'll give you a little hint there. Attachment. Because when we desire something, and Jayato Vishayam Purusam, Sangat Teshik Vijayate, Sangat Sanjayate, Kama Krodha Vijayate. Samoha, Samhas, Vikrita Maha, Nuri Brahmshat, Purimas Danshat, Pranashiti. This means that while contemplating the objects of the senses, one develops attachment to it. From attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. Then anger arises, and then loss of intelligence. Purinashat, pranashati. When one loses intelligence, falls down. So we have to be careful about anger. And the best way to do it is careful about the desires. Don't desire too much. If you desire things, you can desire spiritual things. That won't hurt. But even then, like for example, Prabhupada, he wanted to get some land in Mayapur. He wanted to make his world headquarters there. And he was trying to get the land, Couldn't get the land, no one would sell. He was trying and trying. And at one point, he was trying so hard, but maybe Krishna doesn't want us to have it. And want something else. So he was even willing to put that aside. Not that that's material, it's spiritual. But if Krishna doesn't want that to happen, if Krishna wants something else to, then you should go along with that. It's like Arjuna. Arjuna, classic classic hero, well-mannered, compassionate, intelligent, everything. He said, I don't want to fight and kill my relatives. I don't want to be in this war. I would rather beg in the forest for the rest of my life than to engage. Isn't that a wonderful person? So we would think that's great. He wants to do that. It's a nice thing. But Krishna said no. Just the opposite. So he did what Krishna wanted. And that was the perfection of his life. So everyone should do what Krishna wants. We find out what Krishna wants us to do through the spiritual master. Spiritual master gives us, awards us, our Prabhupada Desh. He gives us our place, our service, our direction, how we should engage. And if we can tune into that and be vibrating on the same wavelength, then it's beautiful sound. Prabhupada tuned in on what Bhakti Siddhanta wanted. He wanted a 70-year-old man to go across the sea with no money in his pocket and try to spread Krishna consciousness in English-speaking language. Who would have ever imagined such a thing? And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was completely in sync, in harmony with his spiritual master, Gaura Das Babaji. You might think that they were different because Gaura he was a Babaji. He had no disciples. He was not known as a very learned in the reading, and the Bhaktivedanta is known as a living encyclopedia. So they seem like they're different, but have the same thing. And Bhaktisiddhanta was, Dr. Sharas Babaji was a follower of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Each disciple carries on the mission of this, our sampradaya. So, speaking about this, my point was, I'm probably at the dash. No, I was talking about desiring. Don't desire material things. That's very risky. I remember one time, for a period of time, I had this idea. I thought, what would I do if I got $1 million right now? And I was in Krishna consciousness, so I said, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I was really getting I kind of like that meditation for a while. Then I realized that's not a very good meditation. Because I saw one of my godbrothers, I hadn't seen him for a while. I said, what happened? He said, I went and made $1 million. And then I lost $1 million. He was just feeling pretty sad about that. So we don't want to be attached to things that Krishna may not want us to be attached to. I might think, I have a great idea. I'll go to Hawaii and preach right while I'm surfing. Good idea. Sounds good. Maybe not though. Maybe the spiritual master prefers you preach in the streets of Chicago or something. Maybe he wants you to do something. So those who are ready to take up the mission of Sampradaya, Krishna's mission, and that they're already on the path to getting free from anger, because they've learned that this anger is just a case of unsatisfied desires. And desires are always going to be unsatisfied. How can you always satisfy your desires? It's not possible. No matter what you desire, the very next moment that you get what you desire, you'll be thinking about the next desire. And you won't have it because you just got the other one. You haven't even had time to really enjoy it. Already you're thinking about why I'm not free. I've got to get more. They did a survey some years back in what was it? ISM? Where is? Yeah, where is it? Silicon Valley. They did an interview with Silicon Valley. There were a lot of rich people there. So they asked, they went to so many millionaires. They said, what is your desire now that you have $1 million? 10 million. Yeah, I wanted 10 million. And they went to the next group, 10 million, 100 million. And they found out that whatever state they were in, they wanted more. Desires don't stop. So we have to be careful. We don't want to get caught in that desiring material things. But even spiritual things, be careful because you may think that it's all spiritual. I'm going to go to Hawaii and surf and preach while I'm surfing and make devotees, all those people. You may have some other ideas mixed in there. May have a few surprises for you that you weren't thinking were going to hit you. So be cautious about these desires. If you stop at it desiring, just whatever Krishna wants. If you're there and you're happy with that, then look, I took around. You all heard the story of Tukaram. He was satisfied with whatever Krishna gave him. He didn't even mind if the animals and insects would come and eat from his field. Most people, when the animals come and eat their crops, they really get sad. They're really angry. He never worried. He didn't worry about getting enough food. He just had faith in Krishna. And Krishna, wherever Krishna wants me, I know that song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Marabi, Rakabi, Yoicha Tohar. You give me life or give me death as you wish, whatever you desire, I'm satisfied. Just let me engage in devotional service. So devotional service, if we make devotional service our desire, our only desire, then everything's fine. You won't become angry over material things because you won't be wanting material things. It will not be the motivating factor. That if you don't get money, you won't be happy. Or if you don't get fame, you won't be happy. Or beauty. No, it doesn't matter. Because Krishna is not interested. He doesn't need those things from you. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your beauty. He doesn't need your fame or how well you can speak or lecture or whatever. He wants your love. And that you can give without anybody. You can do that just by having a nice feeling towards someone, remembering them. Sometimes you find out someone remembered you. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling, just a simple thing like that. Some relationships. So let's make those relationships with Krishna and his association. Make that our desire. I want to be with Krishna. I'd rather be like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Brother Sam. I just want to be the dog of Krishna. You keep me around, keep me at the door, I'll keep all the unwanted trespassers, I'll keep them away. I'll wait for you. The dog is very patient, happy to see the master. We have So then there's nothing more to desire than that. I used to desire to become a temple president. And I became a temple president. I want to be a GBC. And I became a GBC. I want to be a sannyasi. So, but that's not the real best thing to desire. Best thing to desire is just, I pray to somehow or other be allowed to stay with my spiritual master's movement, follow in his footsteps, engage as much as I can to please him. And that takes care of it. Thank you very much. I think I took too much time. Hare Krishna. So what, 1:30?
5 minutes for Kirtan, please. From Kirtan for 5 minutes.
Like to lead a kirtan?
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Haribo. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Namaste Narasimha.
Ram Sankirtan ki.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Thank you very much for attending the Kirtan, and now we would have sadhana. So, pehle devotees will take prasadam, then afterwards. Thank you very much, and Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, it's a small announcement. Just with the mercy of Lord Jagannath, there will be a Chariot Festival of Joy in Colombia on September 12, 2026 at the Stevens Lake Park. We'll share the details in the flyer with everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Haribol, Haribol.